Hello. We talk a lot on this channel about the narcissist in terms of a relationship. But as I stated before, a narcissist can come in all forms, right? You can have a friend who's a narcissist. It could be a family member. And as stated in the title, very oftentimes the family member is your first experience with the narcissist. That's your first experience. Family members are our first experiences with anything, right? You're little, those are the only those are the only people you know are your family. So everything we learn and everything we carry forward from our childhood, we all know by now through many different forums where we watch and learn and read, and that's a lot of what we carry into adulthood is from childhood, including if you have narcissism in your family, that can lead you inadvertently to pair up with a narcissist. It's what you're used to, right? Maybe even the abusive part. It's what you're used to. That's your comfort level. It's your comfort level. To seek something outside of that would feel different. If you're used to a tumultuous family life, for example, where there's a lot of drama and yelling and screaming and all of this, if you were to find in adulthood a very peaceful, quiet, congenial relationship, you may even find that to be not exhilarating, a little boring. Okay, I'm digressing, so let me get back to what I was saying. The childhood definitely sets you up with what you have as your educational background for the way that people can be. It was my first experience with a narcissist was a family member. And everything about the narcissist has to be about them. Everything about the relationship has to be about them. Everything. Everything. They have a lot in common even with the partnership narcissist, because a narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. And yes, there is a spectrum of behavior wherein narcissists lie, and they may be more, more of an abuser here, or more of a love bomber here, or more. But narcissism is a monster that reaches all levels and all different kinds of people. In the family dynamic, whether it is a parent or a sibling or what have you, one of the most frustrating parts about having a family member with this disorder is, first of all, none of us knew what that was. You don't know what it is. So talk about holding out for hope. Talk about holding out for change. Talk about having repeatedly 8,000 discussions trying to mend with this person. 8,000 discussions and meetings, and let's go over this again, and how can we reach this person, and how can I get through to this person, to no avail. I'm 54 years old. I finally had to separate myself from this family member who just, I finally realized, this person doesn't know that they have this disorder. This person would never admit there's anything even wrong with them. That's the first thing you'd probably notice in a family member. Your conversations might center around that. And when you find yourself in an argument with that person, you find that they won't take blame. They won't take responsibility. They won't admit that they did anything wrong. Ever. They often sell their conviction on a topic as truth. Right? Oh, yeah. Just because they believe it, it's the truth. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your point of view doesn't matter. Their way of seeing things is the way it happened. In other words, because I feel I'm correct about this, I am correct about this, is how the narcissist family member is going through life. Furthermore, they would rather be right than have peace. It's extremely important to the narcissist family member to be correct and to be right. They are going to, if you know anybody like this, they are going to stick those feet in cement and not budge. They feel that conviction shows, I'm a person of conviction. I'm a person of worth and value, and I'm going to stand by my opinion and show you how strongly I feel about it, and that's going to prove to you that I'm right. It doesn't prove any of that. They could be as wrong as the day is long, and they're still going to stand there looking foolish, trying to stand by their point. 19 people in the family could be on your side. The narcissist is never, ever going to see, first of all, a different point of view. If they're that heavy into the spectrum on that angle of the narcissist, they're not going to be open-minded to even hear you, let alone take some blame and apologize to you. Holy hell in the hand basket. No way. No way. I'm kind of like a little bit all over the place, so let me reel it in. I think that what we do in our families with our first foray into this narcissism business, and we don't know, and we're not, well versed in the disorder, let alone 40 years ago to many of our childhoods, or 50 years ago, or 30 years ago. The disorder isn't known now, let alone then. So you'd have a problem with a family member, say you try to approach them. You think, I'm going to get through to them. You will never, ever, I'm going to say this very slowly, ever, 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 ever get from a narcissist, I'm really sorry. That was my bad. I really handled that incorrectly. I should not have done that. I should not have said that to you. I should not have felt that way towards you. I should not have. And if you do, it's they're manipulating you to get something later, which is a quality they can share with the romantic partner narcissist, yes? Because even the complimenting and all of that can come up with a family that's a narcissist. The alignment they try to portray with you, creating some kind of false bond. They want something from you later. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And we're all raised with that age-old phrase, blood is thicker than water, blood is thicker than water. Guess what? No. At some point, it is my opinion that at some point, the abusee has to cut off the abuser. It's not just my opinion. That's the literature will tell you that. It's not blood is thicker than water until the end of time. I need to have this person in my life. I went through a lot of back and forth with the narcissist that I have in my family, the one that I'm thinking of right now. A lot of back and forth, a lot of chances were given. I was disappointed every single time. in the same exact way. It was the same exact cycle. And it reflects the narcissist romantic partner's cycle. Smearing, huge part of it. Huge part of it. And you might say, well, why? Why do family members... A narcissist person feels lesser than everybody else in the room. That's one thing I've seen that they have in common. They just feel lesser than everyone else in the room. They just do. In order to make themselves feel better and curb the jealousy they have of you, there might not even be anything solid over which they're jealous of. They just, over which they are jealous. I said that kind of messed up. They just can't have you be happier than them. They can't have you have all these friends, and they want those friends. You have this group of people, they're going to infiltrate it. They're going to make jokes to your friends about you in front of you. Get your friends on their side so later they can go to those friends and say, did you see how Renee was acting? And that's all narcissistic behavior. Who does that? I don't. I don't do that. Talk about people that I'm saying that I love out of the other side of my mouth when they're not listening to friends of theirs. Who does that? A narcissist does. And your narcissistic family member, if they've zeroed in on you and you're the one that bothers them for whatever reason you bother them, they're going to do everything they can to destroy you. Just when you're feeling comfortable, maybe you're going through, there's ebbs and flows. Maybe you're on an upswing and you're getting along. That won't last. That won't last. You don't even have to do anything real that gets them angry. If their truth says that you did something wrong to them, they're going to fly off the handle, blow up, cause a huge family blowout, blame you, and never come around. You'll find that you're the one going around to them. You're the one eating the crow. You're the one making the apology because you just want to make peace in the family. That was my role. And I finally said no. No, I shouldn't be expected to do that for the rest of my life. No. We're all in this life together. Nobody should have to put up with repeated abuse, regardless if it's from a family member, a friend, a romantic partner, a boss. Narcissists come in all forms. All forms. But they have a lot in common with each other because of the disorder. Right? Everything needs to always be about them. So you may think in your life, think back, if it was a special day for you, a special occasion for you, any kind of, and do you have a narcissist in your family that tried to smush it, smear it, crush it, ruin it? They don't just come in romantic partners, these people. They're people in life. So a narcissist is a brother or a sister or a cousin or a father or a mother to other people in their lives. We get from our romantic narcissist, we get that aspect of that person. But that person, my narcissist that I had in my life romantically, he's a brother, he's a son, he's a father, he's a great... All of these other points of view are dealing with the same narcissist we're dealing with from a romantic perspective. What are they dealing with this person? Right? What are they dealing with this person? And I feel that the devaluing that a narcissistic partner goes through is even worse with a family member. It's really because it really develops you as a young person. And if they are insulting you or calling you names or picking on you or ignoring you and devaluing you and smearing you to your friends and talking about you behind your back and those are very malignant behaviors that can stay with many of us for years. And if you have somebody in your life that is doing that or has been doing that to you, I got to the point that I felt perfectly justified to no longer, and it, like I said, there was a lot of back and forth. Don't talk, then you talk. Then you go through phases where you don't, then you go through. I think I exited my final, curtain stage left, and I have now made a decision that I no longer want that disorder, this disorder in my life anymore. I cannot any longer have anyone with this disorder in my company. It's a trigger for me. Their ill behavior is a trigger for me. I don't want anything to do with people that behave this way. I don't. And if you have friends that might be narcissists, you can tell that too. If you have somebody that's in your life that is trashing every other person in the world to you, my mother always said, if somebody's talking about other people to you, then they're talking about you to other people. That's like a little bit like of a sign to me. If you have a friend who is constantly like, the gossiper and talking about it, they're coming to you talking about people that you think in your mind are their friends. What kind of person is that? You might want to look. That's a sign, isn't it? They could be on this spectrum of narcissistic behavior. Because why else would you talk bad about people that are supposed to be in your friends? You're jealous of them. You're trying to bring them down. You're not happy they are. You're trying to bring them down. Rather than rise yourself up and go seek your happiness and go get your piece of life, they have to bring others down around them who portray a happy, successful, congenial life so that they can feel better about themselves. The disorder has commonalities, but the person with the disorder might have a different role in your life that's not a partner. And we have to look for that, because they do come in all forms. The family narcissist is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous spot. It's what you learn from the beginning. It's what you carry forward in your life. And unfortunately for many of us, we have a lot of work to do to get over something like that. So we don't carry it forward. So we don't inadvertently pick one to be in a relationship with. We're used to the drama. Aren't we? We're used to the drama. A nice quiet relationship seems boring. Wait, that can't be love. Where's the drama? Where's the adrenaline? Where's the cortisol? This can't be love. This is love over here. This is what I was taught was love. Do you know what I mean? As we get older, we realize, no, this is a very unhealthy disorder, and you shouldn't be expected to maintain company with people that mistreat you. This isn't the last video I have on this. This is a touch on all these different topics, but I feel like each one of these could warrant their own video, any one of the things I mentioned. So I'm throwing this out there and hoping that you can see something maybe that helps you, and we are going to talk about this again. I've had this requested of me, though. Make one of these videos about the family narcissist. And this is, I think, the first time we're talking about it. I don't think we did too bad. And we'll get back to it. We sure will.